welcome back to Real Reviews. This is Cody Williams, and we're here to talk about the movie Saw 10. It is the newest addition to the long-running series of horror movies that's been around for almost 20 years now. This new movie itself is the 10th entry, but chronologically it takes place between the first and second Saw movies. If that's the case, why call it Saw 10? Instead, call it Saw 1.5 or something. It's just weird. Since the first movie has been one of my all-time favorite Halloween traditions to see the newest Saw movie in theaters, and it's kind of a squandered opportunity to not release this new sequel around Halloween. You remember the old adage, right? Now everybody repeat after me. If it's Halloween, it must be Saw. Anyways, as grotesque these movies can be, I still somehow enjoy these movies. I know that sounds weird oddly enough, but you could imagine how excited I am for this new movie. Now that I finally watched it, I'm ready to talk about it. The movie story follows a sick and desperate John Kramer as he travels to Mexico for a risky and experimental medical procedure in hopes of a miracle cure for his cancer, only to discover the entire operation is a scam to defraud the most vulnerable. Armed with a newfound purpose, the infamous serial killer returns to his work, turning the tables on the con artist in his signature visceral way through devious, deranged, and ingenious traps. Well then, color me impressed. I absolutely love this sequel. Well, midquel in this case. It has fan service for the long-time committed fans. The traps were brutally gross, and it was an overall fun time. This movie is a midquel that's definitely worthy of the Saw name. Granted, it doesn't go without saying that I do have maybe one minor nitpick, and that's about it. I'll get to that later, but for now, I do want to talk about the great things the movie has going for it, whether it be the writing, acting, cinematography, and also the lavish set pieces used for the deadly traps. Obviously, the best thing about this movie would have to be its writing. With the way the movie is written, and as weird as it sounds, you just can't help but root for Jigsaw himself. I mean, this is his most personal story yet. This is actually one of the most profound character-driven movies of the Saw series itself, and the character development for Jigsaw in the sequel is just really good. It is also nice to have Amanda, one of Jigsaw's many apprentices, return once again. I did thoroughly enjoy how the movie's writing touched base and explored her Stockholm Syndrome relationship with Jigsaw a bit more than we've never seen. As far as the acting goes, Tobin Bell is the shining star of this movie and also the series itself. I know he's been in tons of other movies and television shows, but he's what made this series so damn good. He has the iconic sinister voice that everyone has come to know, and he's just simply flat out amazing in this new movie. Even Shawnee Smith did great reprising her Amanda character once again. With a movie directed by Kevin Gruder, who has worked as the editor for the Saw movies since the beginning and directed a few of the sequels, he understands how the Saw movies should look like. And I have to say that this new movie's grimy and grungy, if that's even a word, looking cinematography was really elaborate. I really liked how most of the shots were framed and utilized the minimal lighting perfectly. For the series to be well known for its iconic, sadistic torture traps, this new movie adds to the extensive list of how creative they can be. As brutal and gross the traps can be, they even made me kind of squirm. That's kind of an incredible hard feat to pull off because of how desensitized I've become from watching so many horror movies. I will say that the set design for these traps are most exquisite, if you have the stomach to actually watch them, that is. If there's anything that did actually bother me, it would have to be how predictable the plot twist ending was, even though it's not much of a plot twist. Anyways, if you remember in the past how Jigsaw was always 2 steps ahead of everyone and had contingency plans for everything, you can pretty much predict the ending. As far as the ending goes, I'm not going to say anything. Don't worry. But after having all past Saw movies ending on a grim note, it's kind of jarring to have a ride off into the sunset ending for this new movie. It just felt too out of place. With all that said, I absolutely loved this sequel. My mistake, mid-cool. If I had to rank this new movie with the other Saw movies, I'd had to put it up right with the first couple films. Overall, Saw X is quite the triumphant return to form after the disappointing lackluster couple of recent entries. It has a super compelling story and it's bloody fun to say the least. As a first for a Saw film, there is a mid-credits scene, so make sure to stick around after the movie's over. While it was not an entirely perfect movie, there is some room for improvement. I give this movie an A-. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to keep up my real reviews.